early here. It's like 7. At the end, I might show you guys the rooftop where I live, because that way you can see the entire strip of the sunset. I live in this really cool place, so I don't know, that may be something at the end or something, but yes, my name is Kamie. Yeah. I go by KJ too sometimes. And I am the only agent in the whole state of Nevada. So it takes a lot of drive every single day to be able to go out there with absolutely nobody really to fall back on, except for a phone call sometimes. And there's a lot of things that I have to put in place, even as a person and personally and professionally, to be able to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish with being the only person here. And you may not be able to see it behind me, but I'm in my bedroom. But when I look, I have a whiteboard, I have a calendar, I have 3 vision boards in the back, I have 3 notebooks, I have a planner. Like, I am the ultimate vision board person. Yeah. And I love it. Like, I strive for that. There's actually a book here, I'll show it to you guys. There's it's called Beyond the Board, and I just started reading it. And this girl, Rebecca, actually used to work for Family Heritage for 10 years, and she retired with $1 million. How to do it. And there's like exercises in this book where you literally have to like ask yourself these hard questions of what your goals are. And this is totally a book I would recommend. But kind of wanted to just start the call off too with like just some questions that you can kind of ask yourself, because it's Wednesday and I'm really excited. And the reason why I love Wednesdays, and I can find something I love about every day, but the reason why I love Wednesdays is because it's not Monday. And for me, I kind of get nervous when it comes to Mondays of like going into the field with 0. You know, it's like your Monday, you're like, oh crap, what do I got to do today? And so some of you may be feeling good about going into Wednesday with what you have. Some may not, but I want you to know that it doesn't matter. It's how we wake up, and it's what we really truly feel like we can accomplish, because it's really about what you believe in yourself. Like, the first thing I look at my vision board on my thing right here, it says, go take what's yours. And those are the types of things that motivate me to wake up every single day and just have the best attitude that I possibly can. And even though it sounds kind of silly, like, oh, I'm happy it's Wednesday, I'm actually legitimately happy it's Wednesday because it's not Monday and it's closer to Friday. But that's also the icebreaker that I'm going to use all day today in every single cold call, because it helps just break up kind of that ice, just kind of how it sounds. Like, I would be like, oh my gosh, happy Wednesday. And they'll be like, well, what do you want? What are you here for? You know how they always do that. And if I can teach you anything, it would be to, when they keep doing that, is to just ignore it and to keep trying to build that rapport, because that's the only way we can kind of actually show that we're people versus just trying to be a salesperson. But there were a couple things besides like the vision boards and stuff like that, because man, what motivates me to have a vision board is like writing a little box and then whatever it says. So mine said life insurance, and I recently just got that. And what's super exciting is be able to like check it off. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but when you achieve something, you can either cross it off or check it off. It feels so good to do that. So find out what those things are for you to be able to write those down. Let's see. So I'm just a very natural goal-oriented person though. And I feel almost so overwhelmed most times of how many goals I actually have. So make sure that you're writing them down and really asking what exactly it is that you want to accomplish. Like, even if it's small stuff. Like, for example, last night actually with coronavirus, everything's been like sold out when it comes to like dirt bikes or pit bikes and stuff like that. I'm into like motorcycles, but they've been completely sold out. And so all I've been doing is figuring out what it is that I want. And I found the bike that I wanted last night. And so that's all I'm focusing on today. And that helps drive me every single hour of the day, is that I want to accomplish this. And I only need $1,600. So it's like, okay, breaking it down. If I need $1,600, how many demos do I have to do? How many families do I have to protect? And so that helps make it smaller and a lot easier where it doesn't seem like it's too overwhelming. But I just want you guys to know too, that you can do anything that you set your mind to. You just have to truly, truly believe that. Like, for example, the other day, I woke up, it was like 8 a.m. on my way to like my first call or something, and I saw like a Lamborghini or something. Not that I necessarily want that, but when you see it, some people's first reaction when they see a nice car or something like that, like, dang, must be nice. Or some people are like, you know what, it's possible. And it's really about kind of how your mind is. Like, for me, I'm like, it's possible. Instead of like, oh, wow, that's a really nice car or whatever. But you have to truly believe that it could happen for you, regardless of what your goals are. Like, you can do anything that you set your mind to. It doesn't matter. And so I just, great day. Let's see, what else what time are we on? 24. Okay, so a couple more minutes. So how I prospect though, I actually only do business to business. I don't know if some of you guys do residential, but I typically just do business to business. And what I do is I initially just try to find the owner. And if the owner's not there, then I'll look directly for the manager. And then if the manager's not there, I'll talk to the employee. So at any time, no matter what, when I go into a business, my goal is to get a demo, no matter what, at least try to, or at least try to set up for the next day or the next day or next day. I don't care what day. Hey, it's Wednesday. What works today between Friday? Which day? I'll pull out my phone and just say a day, be super direct. But I want to touch base on that too, because if it is the owner, talk to them as if you were going to pitch it to them. And if you can tell that they're not interested, just tell them how you work with different stores, or tell them how you want to work with their employees. If you're just with the manager and the owner's not there, just pitch the manager, and then see also in that same sense if you can come in and talk to all the employees. But if it's just an employee, make sure, because if the boss isn't there, the manager's not there, is that you're building those rapport questions. So the first thing that I always ask, once I find out that the owner's not there and the manager's not there, it's kind of like, all right, sweet, the boss isn't there. You're like, well, this is great. I can talk to probably everybody today, but I'll ask them right away. I'll be like, how long have you worked there? And I think that's such a powerful question, because it allows you to see they've been there for 3 months, they probably don't know what benefits are offered. If they've been there for like 4 years and you know what position they're in, then it just gives you such a broad thing just by knowing how long that somebody's been there. And it helps you build rapport where you're like, well, I'm here to pitch you something, but wait, I'm going to actually step back and just talk to you as a person. You're like, oh, cool. How long have you worked here? And they're like, oh, like 2 years. And you're like, wow, that's not too long. What did you do before this? Like, asking those type of questions just to help build something that you know about them before actually being like, cool, well, I'm just here to sell you something. But I've always found that question is so powerful. And like I said, it's really easy to just kind of build that conversation with that. But it also gives you a recruiting angle, because if you think about it, if you're talking to someone who's been there for like 4 years and they're just an employee, they're not a manager, it helps you maybe think about if you're going to talk to them later about recruiting them over. Well, how long have you been here? You could mention later, be like, yeah, so you mentioned that you've only been working here you've been working here for like 4 years. I guess, is this your job that you're going to retire from? And those are an angle that you have already, knowing how long they've worked there. If it's something that you could talk to them later about bringing them onto your team. But it was also just a rapport question, just to talk with them and to just a little brief before getting into a sales presentation, which is really, really cool. It just helps a lot, but it seems so genuine too at the same time. And it is, for sure. But I also want to touch base on a couple things too, especially when they teach us in sales school, when they go, do you have a place to sit down, and you turn and you point? And the reason I bring that up is because I actually like thrive off of that, because it actually like works so well. Anybody else, like when you just point and just go start walking, do you have a place to sit down? And they're like, yeah. And it just sit down with you, and you just think in your head, yeah, that works. Make sure to use that and to be assertive with that. If you see a chair, start walking towards it, and they will follow you. and just see how many times you can do that. It's actually really cool. You know, on your like goal card every morning, you could be like, how many times did I actually tell someone to sit down and they actually followed me? It's all about that confidence that you have. Let's see, how much time do we have? Okay, a couple minutes. What's a really good thing too? So during enrollments, if you got a really good relationship with that manager, I actually have 2 letters from a manager's, and they just literally took 2 seconds of their time in an email and said, KJ came in for an enrollment. She did really well with our employees, blah, blah, blah. And then it says at the bottom their name and where they work. And I'll just print that out like we have the claims, and I'll just show other business owners when you're talking to them about an enrollment. I'll be like, oh, check it out. Take a look. I helped out this business, and this is just what they said about it. And it actually really helps. That way they can see that you've been around to other places that they know, and that you did a good job with that other business's employees. So it's not too hard. Actually, how I got the 2 letters though, I did give them, like, to each of them, I bought like 6 beers. I was like, will you please just write this for me? And I did give them a gift to help them, because they're such busy people. And I was like, how do I get them to just write this small? It was like a paragraph. It was like this long, but it's worth it just to have, honestly. So that's always a good thing, just to pull in your back pocket. Like, this is what we do for other businesses. But I think just to kind of like wrap this up, and the reason why I think I've been just doing so well is that I have a lot of confidence when it comes to not only myself, but the product, and just own it. Just take control of the interaction by as much as you can, by asking as many questions as you can. Giving people compliments kind of lightens up the air. You always want to leave that person in a better mood if you can. Like the other day, I was actually struggling, and I called my boss, and he's like, at the end of today, I want you to tell me how many people you made smile. And I started tallying if anyone's always any struggling at all, just be like, all right, how many times can I make somebody smile? And when you're forcing that energy around, it's going to help you change your mindset too, and how you feel. So I just started tallying. I was like, all right, boss, I had 18 smiles today. He's like, all right, good job. If that helps at all too, you can kind of do that. But you know, I also want to touch base too on, me and Tina were talking a bit about the 3X bonus that we have, and to capitalize that on that as much as you can this week. And regardless of where you stand today, just know that it's possible to achieve your goals, and it always takes all day to have a good day, and it always takes all week to have a good week. And in the words of Justin Ellingston, my agency owner, be yourself, because everybody else is taken. And that just goes back to being confident in yourself and the product, and just showing them what it is, and that everybody is just picking this up. It's just kind of like that facade, like everybody's picking this up. And let's see, or like the things that I love too is saying, like, so what do you like about it best so far? Do you like the fact that it pays out a lot, or it covers a lot, or it's just really simple? And they'll be like, oh, well, all of them. So stuff like that, use those in your presentation, and it really helps guide the closure on that, because you can just be like, oh, so a lot of people like a lot of different things. People like the fact that it pays out a lot, or like you said, you love the fact that it covers a lot. I mean, where nowadays do you find such a great coverage while you're actually saving for the future? Like, use what they said in the closure, and always helps bring them right to that decision. They basically told you themselves. But just know that you guys can do anything that you set your mind to, and to just set those goals and write them down. It doesn't have to be like to my level where I got like 5 vision boards behind me and all of that, but it could just be like a notebook, and just start writing stuff down and find out what it is that you get up for every single day. It's not a dirt bike. It could be like a vacation for your family or whatever it is, but just know what it is that you want to work for, and you can do anything that you set your mind to. And that's kind of what I'll leave you guys with. It was really great to meet you guys. Galaxy Note 9, David, Tina. Have I met any of you guys before?
I don't think you've met anybody. So you've got Kayla on, Dane, Raisha, And then Amanda, who just is in her second week, she's already done probably, I don't know, over 5,000. David, and then me. We've got some people missing today, but yeah, you'll see, once we are not socially distant, you'll see some of these people definitely in Mexico.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So, guys, y'all can hear Kamie's fire. Can you hear Kamie's fire? Can you feel Kamie's fire? Like she's fired, and when I talk to y'all, I'm fired. When Taylor talks to y'all, we're fired. Fired up, fired up, fired up. So I'm gonna leave y'all with a quote as well. Kamie gave y'all some quotes that I love. But this is what I want you to write down on your paper: is successful people do what unsuccessful people do not. That's my ringtone, guys. When I wake up, that's my ringtone. That's my alarm. And my phone tells me successful people do what unsuccessful people do not. So this morning, guys, I did not want to get out. Most mornings, I don't want to get out of bed, but I have my phone set to something that reminds me of my goals, right? And so like attracts like. Kamie and I were attracted to each other, like, just there was such attraction between us. And as I've watched Kamie in her career, I know why. It's because we're alike. Because I have 4 vision boards in my bedroom that I've had made, over the course of several years. And whenever Kamie and I were talking a few weeks ago, she shared her vision boards with me, and she likes to check off what she's accomplished. The other thing Kamie said today is that you can have anything you set your mind to, and she used, I think, the Lamborghini as an example. It was just an example. That's powerful, guys. On my vision board is a yacht, because I look at a yacht and I'm like, well, I don't look at it like, oh, that must be nice, like in Kamie's words, that must be nice. No, that's going to be my life. I want to live on the water, and that is going to be my life. And when you set your mind that way, it will happen. And that's something that I appreciate you saying today, Kamie, because we've got people that on this team that are shaping a new life for themselves, and it's really exciting. And then when it just comes to cold calling, what I heard you say is that it's building rapport, and it's finding a way to humanize yourself so they don't see you as a salesperson, right? But Kamie can definitely probably teach us more about how she because Kamie has to start fresh every day too, guys. She lives in a big city, so she's got an uphill battle. There's no excuses, and she just said Mondays are stressful because on a Monday you're at a 0. Guys, do you hear that? Did you hear her say that? On a Monday you're at a 0. Kamie, do you have you're on a string of 0 weeks? Do you ever not pay yourself? Do you
No.
ever go a week and not get paid?
No.
No, you
I
always, go ahead.
I would make sure. I don't care what it takes. I work Saturdays. I've worked every other Saturday, or at least 2 Saturdays a month for the last year and a half. I've worked this job just because I want to. I have so many things that I have to accomplish that I don't have the time.
Right.
I feel overwhelmed with all the things that I want to accomplish, and I just want to keep it going. I don't want to lose that energy. I just want to keep it going. So if I don't hit my goal, I have to try to hit it at least.
Yep. So I love it, Kamie. You're the best, and you and I need to catch up. we owe each other a call, and it's really hard. I think the thing between busy people and successful people is that we tend to get into our own world, and it's always something else that we're doing because we are overwhelmed with everything that we want to accomplish. But Kamie, let's carve out time, and let's execute those things that we said we wanted to execute together. Do y'all have any questions before I let her go? Dane, Raisha, do y'all have any questions? Amanda, do y'all have any questions for Kamie before I let her go? She's got to She was going to show, oh, shit, Kamie, you're going to show us the roof.
Yes, I'm 100% showing you guys this. It's so up like forced.
Guys, she woke up. I mean, I know she was already up working, but it's 7 o'clock. She, you know, she was on our call at 9 o'clock, and it's 7 o'clock where she is. So,
Exactly. Hey, where do I turn the camera?
oh my God, that is so awesome.
I mean, you can't. I mean, this doesn't justify it, but it's out there. This is the entire strip, but it's like the whole thing. Like, it's just gorgeous.
It's the entire strip of Las Vegas.
Yes.
Guys, she sells in freaking Las Vegas. I mean, seriously.
At night, this is gorgeous too. Like all the lights. Oh my gosh. It's just like a zen place to be.
I love it. I love it. You're such a boss, girl. You are such a boss.
Just thought I'd at least show you guys. Some people don't get to see that.
All right,
If I ever get to come,
Kamie,
if I ever get to come to Vegas, Kamie, to see the Haunted Museum by Zach Bagans, I'm gonna come see you.
Let's do it.
we're gonna try to get Kamie over here to Dallas too. So
It's a possibility.
anyway, you never know, right? Everything's possible. Everything is possible. All right, guys. I've got to get. I pulled over, but I got to get to my first stop. So I've got a little bit of a ways to drive, and I just love all of y'all. Kamie, I love you to death, and thank you so much for taking your time this morning to chat with us.
Yep, absolutely. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Kamie.
Of course.